Driving the F800 home. Got a long way to go. Truck's an 87. We got stud pilot wheels, 22 5s. Got a pretty long dump bed on it. I have to measure it. If I had to guess, I'd say it's about 12 foot. It's got a 5-speed with 2-speed rear, air brakes. Got the dump bed controls here. It seems the PTO one's frozen. Got to do some work on the wiring. Got no heater controls. The taillights don't work. So we'll have to clean the cab out. It's got the Brazilian 7.8 liter engine in it. Not sure the horsepower rating on it. I'll have to try to figure that out. We got a leaking primer pump. So that was frozen. I was able to get it opened up, but I couldn't get it to screw back together. It does, but then it'll pop out again with the fuel pressure. So we'll reach out to Area Diesel Service for that. It's got a tiny bit of blow-by. We got to do some belts and other stuff, a little bit of maintenance on this. But it made it home. This fuel tank, it leaked on us, so I lost about probably 20 gallons of diesel. Both tanks were just about empty today, so we had to go run out and get some fuel. It's the hydraulic tank. Top corner of the cab protector got walloped pretty good. Like to put a, looks like there was a tarp system, put a tarp system back on this. Got a little bit of bed repair to do. Got air to the rear for a trailer. Three coal chutes. A little bit of welding to do in the bed, clean out some old asphalt. We picked this up last winter. and I've been paying to put it on the road, but it's not exactly legal. So it's time to address all the issues we have with it. It's got some wiring problems. Right now the dump bed doesn't work. Fuel tank leaks on the driver's side. The strap is just about rotted off on the passenger side. Probably we need some battery cables. Got to do some welding on the bed. And a list of other things. For those of you who didn't see the last video bringing this stuff home, this is an 87. It's got a Brazilian 7.8 in it and a 5-speed with a 2-speed rear. So I got a new primer pump from Area Diesel Service. This one doesn't lock in anymore. It doesn't really work. So I think we're sucking a little bit of air from there. I got some new fuel filters, new sediment, new water separator. Just keep finding things wrong with this thing. And I was poking around over here and I'm like, oh, look at that. It's a nice hole. So it's just a bunch of stuff wrong. I guess let's get started with cleaning the interior out. Let me get the trash can. Old insurance information, Cobra radio. Just got a piece of floor. Broken snow brush. Pen. Something's eating the seat pretty well. Got a lot of bungees in here. Sneakers. Some pipe. Junk wiper. Set of triangles, we need these. Extinguisher, that's no good. Get rid of that. So I got all the trash cleaned out. Just gotta spray it down and clean it up. Probably should get a new mat for the floor. Some grommets for the clutch. So start. There we go, all the way back. Not sure what we got going on with the wiring. It's a hell of a mess. Found the radio, a couple tools, and some other stuff. Oh, the bed does work. Well, the bed works. Goes up pretty far. A little bit of welding to do on the floor. There's a mud flap. There's the panels for the one of the 850s. Now we're safe to work under it. So the next thing I'm going to work on after getting this interior cleaned out is removing this fuel tank. Now when it was down at the previous owner's place, I had put about 10 gallons of fuel in it, and it ended up leaking out the next time I went down there. And he didn't say anything to me until the day we went down there, and he said he turned off the fuel valve. One of them has a leak. I don't remember which one. I'll probably end up replacing both of those valves, or seeing if it's just an O-ring or something inside of there. And so I'm gonna take these two tank straps off. I called to get a price on a company that makes these, and they were gonna be about $500 for 4 of them. I'm like, I built them for the auto car, so I might as well make them for this too. And honestly, this one and one on the other side might not be too bad. We'll get new rubber for it. So let's get these off. We'll cap the fuel line there. And that's all we got on this side. The other side is the one that has the sender and stuff. So let's get this knocked off and see what we got for a hole in the tank. So this T-bolt over here, we actually just blew right out of the bracket. It was so bad. So that should be still usable. A little rough, but last time I bought these, I got them through McMaster Car. Let's work on getting this other side off. I have the valve closed on the other tank. That still has fuel in it. Now the tank should slide right out of here. Got our vent. If you look right there, there's our pinhole. So probably just a little bit right here we gotta clean up, and then right there, and tank should be in good shape again. So over here with the battery box, I'm going to look real quick and see if I can find a lid reasonably priced, or I'm going to end up just making one. The Diamond Rio, I ended up building a whole battery box for that truck, and it turned out pretty good. But we're converting these to stud top over post top because these are all shot. So all I did was cut the end of the strap to get the T-bolt out. All this does is sit in there like that, and then it's folded around it. Now I got my overall length, and I think I'll do the slots in the mill, and then all you gotta do is just cut the ends here, fold it over, and weld around the end. But I don't have any material to make these yet. I'll have to pick some up. In the meantime, I cut the 2 holes out of the fuel tank where it was getting a little thin. Here. See right there where that wet spot is? That's where it was leaking. But if I hold it up to the light here, you guys can see it. See that hole? So I'll get these welded in, and then I got some new rubber to go around the tank straps, and I got a roll of rubber to go under the tank where it sits on the cross members. So I'm going to get this welded up, and then I'll show you guys when we're all done here. Got the tank all patched up and painted. So we're going to put this back on the driver's side. I put down some rubber strips. These have adhesive on one side of them. So these are the straps I made a while back, and then I've got this to go between the tank and the straps. There we go, and now that'll protect the tank. Get some never sees on that side. Angle this like that, I guess. I guess we'll see how I did patching this tank up. I air tested it, but now that it's clamped down, things might have changed. So I got a 5-gallon bucket underneath. There's a sump and a plug there. I'm going to put 5 gallons in to try to flush the bottom of the tank out in case I got any grinding dust or welding slag in there. And then I figure I'll open this fuel valve also, and then we'll just dump the fuel back in through this fuel filter funnel. So it's got a really fine screen to filter anything out. So I might as well use that right off the bat here, filter in this can of fuel. And I'm going to put 10 gallons total in this, and then I'll go down to the station and fill the tank the rest of the way if we got no issues. I got the fuel line hooked up. So I gotta get these battery cables fixed. They're in pretty rough shape. We have to make a hold down, and we have to make a battery cover. For right now, we're just gonna take care of these battery ends so the truck will run, then I can move it, and then I only got a couple other things to fix so that I can use this to go pick something up. So what I've got for this is I got these, and then I'm just going to put a lug on the end. Should probably put a battery disconnect on this too. These are 4-aught, but they don't have the right hole. Oh, here, 4-aught 3/8. That's what I need. 4-aught cable. Wow. 4-aught 3/8. So our black. I'll find some hardware for all this. So let's go the other way with this. I'll have to see if I can get some slack back out of that somewhere. I think I can. The one clamp looks like it's goofy. No sparkage, so that's good. The wiring's a mess in the back of the truck, which they usually are. I gotta put a new 7-pin round trailer connector in there. The other one is 7-pin flat. As you can see, way down there, there's a bunch of wire nuts. So I gotta try to sort out what they got going on back here and get everything working right again. Oof. So I fixed why all the taillights weren't working on the dump bed and the back of the truck. It was just missing the fuse. I'm guessing the fuse blew because all this stuff was just banging around. So I think I'm going to go all the way back to here, just cut all this out, and then run some new wire from there over to this junction box, and then I'll run this cable out of the junction box into the trailer connector, and then both corners here of the taillights can also go into here. And I think that'll take care of this wiring mess. Like, so this is, they had this spliced in here, but then it's going back to here. So it's tied in here, and it's tied in here. So it's tied in twice. So I don't know if they had a break somewhere in that, but we gotta get rid of all that stuff. So I'm gonna just work on cutting some of that out, and then we'll get down into this junction box. So I got the junction box added in the back here. Quite a bit of wiring. It's taken me probably, I don't know, 3-4 hours. Now I can just wire tie this all up out of the way. We got our 7-pin round mounted for the trailer, and I have to test that. I did test all the tail lights and the brake lights. I don't have reverse lights, I believe. So I gotta go up there and scope that out, see if the switch on the trans is hooked up. So I'm going to work on tying this all up and putting this cover on, and there's a couple clamps that go in here to hold everything tight. Let me show you that we have lights, and then we'll take the test light and check the trailer plug also. Left turn, right turn, brake, running lights. All right. There's our left turn. There's our running lights. That's auxiliary, the bottom one. So I shouldn't have anything there. This one here, this should be our right turn. We're good there. I don't know if these switches are hooked up. Let's see if that one's the auxiliary. No, that one's not. But yeah, everything seems to work. The only thing is the reverse lights. So I gotta check the switch on the trans and see if the top two lights should be lighting up. I didn't show up, but the lights on the side of the bed are also working, and the clearance lights. It was just a blown fuse, and the brake lights weren't working, and that was also just a dirty terminal in the fuse block. So pulling the fuse out and sliding it in a few times, clean that up so the brake lights work. Right now the bed is stuck in the air like this. So I'm guessing there might be a little bit of corrosion possibly in that cylinder at the very top. And I tried raising the bed and letting it come down a few times, and it still won't come down. So I think I'll just put the excavator bucket in it, put a little bit of weight on it, and then lower it. So right now, I'm not getting any air out of this glad hand. This is the emergency line. This feeds air to all the air tanks in the trailer. And the other line is your service line, the blue one, and that's what applies the trailer brakes. So in the event that you lose air and the air pressure gets depleted on your trailer, there's a tractor protection valve, which is this right here. So I have the line off of that. I'm not getting any air out of that. So there's a shuttle in there, and I think that shuttle is stuck. So I'm going to hit that dash valve and we'll see if air comes out. Yep. So I got the tractor protection valve fixed. I pulled it off, and it turns out they had the emergency line and the service line reversed. And that just goes to show, don't always think that whoever worked on it before you didn't make a mistake or knew more than you do. And I just happened to look up the part number that was on this because the ports aren't labeled. And yeah, this is from the dash valve. It should go straight through to the emergency line, which is your red glad hand. And then this is the service line coming off the relay valve. And then this goes to your trailer brakes. So now when I push the red dash valve, we should get air blowing out of this glad hand to release the fixed. I think I have a leaking air can on this side, so I'm going to release the brakes. Just throw the truck in gear. I got a block of wood. So I'm going to back the brakes off. You got to push this collar in and then turn this 9/16 bolt. We're going to remove this clevis pin and then these two mounting bolts and these two air lines, and this will come right off. This one's got a big old caging bolt. So a caging bolt's how you would release the brakes if you didn't have air pressure. You put it in this slot in the end, give it a quarter turn, and then you draw that spring tight back towards here, and that'll release your brakes. Might as well break these loose while it's still on here. Okay, now what's important with these is how far the rod sticks out. I think if they have square ports, they're long stroke, and the round ports are standard stroke. I could be backwards on that. You see the ports are labeled service and then spring. Got the old swapperoo done. Green. It don't look bad the way it is. Alright, now I'm going to go put air to it. Release the brake. released. All right, that's tight. Now we're gonna back it off a half a turn. One quarter, one half. Now we should be adjusted. You don't hear that air leak anymore. Might as well check this other side while I'm here. I checked the oil in the rear axle. That looks good. There was a magnet in this top plug. I cleaned that off. I didn't pull the bottom plug because oil didn't look too bad. Now, I pulled this trans leaks a little bit. I pulled the plug in this and I can't feel it. So probably end up having to pull this eventually, but just probably takes synthetic 50 weight, but I'm just gonna put some gear oil in it for now to top it off. I greased everything too. See it just starting to come out. Yep, that don't look good. Looks yucky. So it's been another few weeks and back on the F800. Got to replace this primer pump. You can see it's actively leaking right now. It wouldn't, usually it comes out and it sits up like that so it wouldn't lock in. We're going to do the fuel filters and the water separator down here. So I think it's in here. Reached out to our friends over at Area Diesel Service. I've had this thing for close to a year now. They didn't waste any time shipping this out to me back around Christmas last year, and I never got around to getting it done. So sorry about that, guys, but gonna take care of it now. So it's pretty straightforward. It's just gonna unscrew. There we go. Just need to break it free. New copper washer. Alright, hopefully that does it. Sounds like it's doing something. Huh. Oh. Oh, that one didn't have the washer there either. I don't have any on road in a can. Got our bleeder open. Now let's pump our primer and get these filters full. All right, we're full. Tighten that up. Water separator to do, and of course it's raining again, because I can't do anything without it raining. Come on. Okay, that apart. It's the water drain. Ooh, some nasty looking stuff. There was some water in there. Oh yeah, that looked pretty bad. We should notice, probably notice a power increase with this. Well, it seems to run all right. So I took the bottom off that filter. You can see all the rust and water sitting in the bottom of this. Kind of like this because you're supposed to be able to see through and see if you got anything sitting in the bottom of the filter housing. Uh-oh, sounds like truck's dying. I got another cluster off eBay, and I ended up swapping it with mine, and then I painted the needles. So I'm going to put this back in the truck, and we'll see if we have a working odometer. And then we've got some spare gauges then as well. You can see the gas tack goes up to 4,500 RPM, and then the diesel tack only goes up to 3,500. But we have spare gauges for the rest of the stuff at least. Oh, I'm going to go put this in, and then we can drive the truck and see if the odometer starts working. See if you guys can see the odometer working. We're at 25 and 3/10. 73, 425 and 3/10. We're about to turn 4/10. There's 4/10. Pretty good. So I think I'm going to stop the video right here on this truck. It's getting a little long and there's still a ton of work to do. So there'll be a part 2 on this. As always, thanks for watching. I love your comments. And if you're new to the channel, be sure you check out some of the other videos on like the cat excavators and the old cable shovels and friction machines. So I'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks again.